When you get your optics combo kit, it's going to come in this box. It's packaged really well. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at what's inside. Inside, some dense foam, and then you're going to have your large size cleaning cloth, a manual for your red dot. If you've never had a red dot before, this is a really good thing to hold on to and take a look at that. That'll teach you a lot about how to operate it and maybe save you some time and frustration. Then you have your magnifier manual. This right here is pretty straightforward, but that's useful. Some silica packets to keep everything dry. And then you do get some batteries for that red dot, really nice packaged individually. And your magnifier is here, so let's go ahead and take those out of the package and take a look at them. First, taking a look at the red dot. Behind the red dot, you have your hardware and some tools. That's going to come in very useful for setting this up and mounting it. Go ahead and pull that out. So the red dot does come with some bikini covers here to protect your lenses, which is nice. Fits pretty well, actually. Then you have your elevation and windage adjustment here, as well as your power on, and you have illumination settings and your battery compartment right there. For the magnifier, go ahead and take that out of the package. The magnifier here, it doesn't require a lot to know how to use this other than just flipping it over when you don't want to use it. So it's a simple motion, just like that right there. Not a lot you have to do other than go ahead and get this itself loosened up, attach it to the Picatinny, and then you can go ahead with the zeroing process when we get it strapped onto a gun. Now, when you're setting up your CVLIFE magnifier and your red dot, there's one thing that is usually useful is just keeping them a little closer together. They don't need to be far apart for any reason. They can be close enough together, just like I've set up here. This little gap does not actually interfere with the product working. In fact, it's helpful because it just gives me a little bit more room for this to fold. And then also, if I choose to wear the bikini covers on the red dot, like so, there's enough enough space in there for the optic to actually roll out of the way. When it's time to zero your optic, remember that the first thing you're going to do is zero the red dot. Now, inside your package, you have everything you need to go get this on a Picatinny mount of some sort, but you're going to need to know how to zero this. And so you have elevation on top and you have windage on the other side. And you're going to use those to move the red dot around inside towards the location that you want your impacts to be. So make little adjustments at a time. And for me, it took me 3 shots to get it right where I want it to be at 50 yards on this Ruger 9mm PC carbine. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover up my turrets again, and I can move back to this. This is the magnifier, and this is a really cool magnifier. It's a 3x26, but it does have a back 4 prism inside, which is a high quality prism. It's going to do a great job at providing a good image. And this also has a windage and elevation, but this right here is not doing the same thing as the windage and elevation in here. This is actually just to get your image in the magnifier to be centered up. So when this is zeroed, all you have to do is make sure that your red dot is zeroed in the center of this. You can just move it around. You don't necessarily need to shoot to initially do that, but I would always recommend after you've zeroed up the red dot image in your 3x magnifier, then do a few confirmation shots just to make sure it's generally where it needs to be. The rear of the prism is going to be where you're going to control your diopter adjustment. Back here, you have plus and minus to correct that image and make sure the red dot is sharp for you. And for me, in my eye, the way that I needed to set it was all the way to the right, and that was crisp for my eye in particular. To actuate this, all you need to do is simply apply some pressure underneath and to the side. It's going to move to the right in the way that I've set it up. That is theoretically reversible. If you'd rather have this fold to the left, you could just loosen up these screws on top here, these Allens, and then you can switch around the mount as a whole and insert this again the other way. And as long as it's facing this direction towards the red dot, you're going to get it right. So you could make it fold to the left if you prefer. Most people seem to like folding them to the right, and that's what I prefer myself. Just like that. Nice, solid, strong lockup. It does seem to retain zero as well, which is an added plus with a folding mechanism just to see that it is repeatable for accuracy. As you can see, when it's mounted up, you have perfect access to the power button on and off, as well as illumination intensity settings up and down. Overall, it's a nice, small, tight package that offers a lot of versatility, whether you want to have a true 1x or bump it up to 3x and take some shots at extended ranges. You can find these on Amazon.